General Hospital. Portia reveals Drew's horrifying past secret. In episodes of General Hospital, Portia Robinson is frantically trying to stop Drew Quartermain's blackmail. She is therefore searching through his medical records for anything that she can use against him. Portia may win the lottery. She might unearth a terrifying secret from Drew's history that could lead to his dismissal. Blackmail and General Hospital medical records. Portia's desperate measures. Now that Drew is ruining her life, Portia is under a lot of stress. Additionally, the congressman is aware that Portia falsified Heather Weber's test results since Brad Cooper informed Selena Wu, who in turn informed Drew. Portia might thus lose her medical license as a result of the blackmail. She might end up behind bars. Additionally, she might lose Curtis Ashford, her spouse. Portia just informed Ava Jerome that she is searching through Drew's medical records in an attempt to uncover evidence against him. But on General Hospital, Ava warned against it. In the meantime, Portia is in a precarious situation since Drew Cain is becoming so unmanageable. And she's hopeful those medical records hold the answer to her issue. Drew's troubled past, General Hospital's mind control, and Manchurian Candidate parallels. We have watched Drew experience strange health problems ever since they brought Jason Morgan's twin onto GH. The entire mind control thing has been one of his persistent problems, particularly after they recast with Cameron Matheson. There were 2 stages to it. The latter, however, is more unsettling. That old film, The Manchurian Candidate, comes to mind quite a bit. I adore vintage films. The first one was in 1962. Then, in 2004, they recreated it. Additionally, there are many similarities between it and the Drew storyline on General Hospital. In case you haven't watched it, the film takes place during the Korean War. An American soldier was brainwashed by hostile soldiers, who were actually evil individuals. They turned him into a sleeper soldier that they may deploy to kill a presidential contender. That was meant to aid the enemy in overthrowing the US government. And a playing card activated the mind-controlled man. The Queen of Hearts, I believe. In any case, this film and Drew's past are strikingly similar. GH reveals Helena Cassadine, Peter August, and Drew's programming background. There are 2 ways that Drew has been mind-controlled, as many viewers of General Hospital may remember. Initially, Helena Cassadine gave Drew authority over him by implanting a microchip into his brain. Prior to his debut as Jake Doe, it was the case. Additionally, Helena desired to have him kill her. He was dispatched to Port Charles by her. At first, she desired Jason, his twin brother. However, the vehicle accident in which Sean Cannon's character, AJ Quartermain, was driving under the influence left him with several scars on his brain. Helena found Andrew Cain, his twin. She also had the microchip implanted in him. In order to accomplish this, they used a tangible gadget and applied this memory mapping technology to him as well. However, the microchip was removed when Drew underwent brain surgery. Therefore, such operation ought to be included in his General Hospital medical records. A second layer of Drew's psychological indoctrination was later revealed to us. Drew was employed as a covert hitman by Caesar Faison's son, Henrik Faison, also known as Peter August. That was revealed when Cameron Matheson was cast as Drew in the recast. Drew was activated by a tarot card rather than a playing card, as in the Manchurian Candidate film. When everyone believed Drew had died in a plane crash, Peter held him hostage for 2 years. Peter thus gave him the ability to murder and abduct people. And after that, Drew had no memory of any of it. Is Congressman Drew still a mind-controlled assassin? That is the persistent threat. Interestingly, there is no evidence that Jason was ever deprogrammed from this second layer of indoctrination after he gave his life to save Drew. In fact, Drew was concerned that he may still be active when he returned to Port Charles after Jason had saved him. All someone needed on General Hospital was the correct tarot card and activation word. Victor Cassadine actually attempted to use Drew's mind control. However, they deceived him. It didn't work since he had the incorrect tarot card. He never heard the information from Peter. However, Portia is looking through Drew's medical records. She might therefore shed some light on this. It's unlikely that the second programming would be included. However, his documentation should include the microchip brain surgery. In addition, Drew informed Curtis about the second layer when he returned from the dead, Thus Curtis is aware of it. Drew filled Curtis in on everything. This covered Peter and Victor's actions as well as the memory mapping. Curtis might therefore tell Portia about the alternative programming if she brings up the microchip. In a sense, Drew remains an active assassin because he was never deprogrammed on General Hospital. He is merely awaiting activation and usage for evil purposes. And you don't want a U.S. representative like that, do you? Revealing Congressman Kane. How Portia may reveal Drew's sinister secrets. Jason is aware of the precise tarot cards and code words that activate and deactivate Drew, in case you forgot. When they were stranded together in Greece, Jason saw what his brother had told him. Drew was acting dangerously and kind of freaking out on General Hospital at one point. Jason deactivated his brother using a card and a code phrase. Therefore, Portia might divulge this information to someone, such as the dubious editor at The Invader, if she finds out. In this manner, it avoids passing through Aurora. It would probably discredit Drew if it were made known that he is an assassin with a history of amnesiac violence, and he ought to be expelled from Congress for it. Drew has previously been under the influence of Helena Cassadine, Caesar Faison, Peter August, and the Erie cult leader Shiloh Archer on General Hospital. In addition, he has a lengthy list of violent felonies. He has never been detained or charged, though. At least 20 assault charges were committed by Drew, and there may have been more. There is trespassing, theft, assault with a deadly weapon, breaking and entering, and obstruction of justice. It is unquestionably in Drew Kane's medical records. Thus, Portia could locate it and defeat him with it. Spoilers for General Hospital. Will Drew's past affect his future? Portia might benefit from a resource. Nina Reeves, who works with Carly Corinthos Spencer, is her collaborator. She is also seeing Jack Brennan. As you recall, the WSB was the source of a lot of this programming and mind mapping technology. Additionally, if Carly speaks with Portia Robinson. Alternatively, Carly could ask Jack for some evidence if she speaks with Nina, who speaks with Portia. Drew is probably a violent monster who is simply waiting to be activated, according to the WSB records. But we also know that General Hospital enjoys changing the past. For Brad or Portia Robinson to discover in Drew's medical history, they could therefore create something new. It is my hope that Portia will be the one to defeat him. We'll have to wait to find out what Portia and Brad uncover. They should hit pay dirt in the May sweeps, which begin on April 24th of next week. Since it would respect the character's known past, I sincerely hope GH takes this approach. That seems preferable to me than starting over with a retcon. General Hospital Friday, April 18th recap. Jocelyn spy on shady Professor Dalton after Natalia tells Sidwell about Sonny's heart surgery. According to Friday, April 18th's General Hospital recap, Jocelyn Jack spied on dubious Professor Henry Dalton, while Natalia Ramirez sent Jen Sidwell the information about Sonny Corinthos' heart operation. When she discovered why Sonny was missing Rocco Falconeri's debate at Carly Spencer's house, she advised him to avoid getting in the way of Laura Collins if he truly intended to assist her. Before Sonny finally admitted his heart problems, Carly pressured him to accept the conclusion of the referendum. Carly discovered Natalia was one of the people who knew after Sonny went through the list. Sonny acknowledged that he no longer trusted Natalia because of her Sidwell connection when Carly inquired if he still did. Carly spoke up about accompanying Sonny to Los Angeles for his upcoming heart surgery. Isaiah Gannon examined Jocelyn's ankle at GH, and she made up an Easter Island scenario to explain how she got hurt. Emma Scorpio Drake informed Jocelyn about her priors and the proceedings with the judge while she was at the hospital for her court-mandated community service. When Jocelyn questioned Emma, she ended up offending her by claiming that not everyone had a millionaire father who could bail them out of jail. Jocelyn then followed Professor Dalton after spotting him exit the elevator carrying a briefcase that appeared to be secure. Joss then observed Professor Dalton enter a designated, approved lab space for research staff. Jocelyn texted Vaughn after Professor Dalton departed to let him know that she had seen his friend from school and promised to update him later. Jason Morgan and Sasha Gilmore Corbin were in an examination room when she had an ultrasound. Sasha was a little hesitant because she still wanted to raise this child on her own, even though Jason recommended sending Michael Corinthos updates. Sidwell discussed with Jordan Ashford the lucrative terms of his possible job at Windmere. Sidwell asked Jordan to promote his interests to Port Charles citizens after he said she could have any job title she desired. Sidwell justified his engagement with Drew Kane by claiming that he was a strong ally to have on their side, despite Jordan's attempts to claim that she didn't want anything to do with him. Sidwell implied that Jordan wouldn't have much time for a personal life if she accepted his offer, once she consented to have her lawyer review it. As a result, Jordan approached Isaiah about joining Sidwell as COO, but he was concerned that Sidwell was scheming. Jordan argued that their romance must cease, but Isaiah questioned what this meant for their relationship as well. Brooklyn Quartermaine, Lucy Coe, and Maxie Jones were all ecstatic about the most recent sales figures at Deception. Lucy went to Windermere to express her gratitude to Sidwell for helping to make this happen, but she was taken aback when he revealed that Natalia was his ex-wife. Soon after Natalia arrived, Lucy scolded her for hiding secrets and implied that her time at Deception was coming to an end. Sidwell attempted to reassure an irate Natalia that everything would be resolved when Lucy left. Sidwell brought up the cardiology visit and pressed for more details when Natalia pointed out that Sonny was now aware of their connection. Natalia realized then that Sidwell was following her. If Natalia revealed further information, Sidwell would put in a good word for her with Marco Rios. Natalia eventually admitted that Sonny needed open heart surgery after some persuasion. Jason returned to Deception with information from Sonny, who asked him to inform the Deception team that Sidwell was Natalia's former spouse. Regardless of Sasha's words, Maxie was incensed and refused to continue doing business with Sidwell. Jason eventually learned that Sasha had essentially supported Sidwell in the kidnapping case and blamed it on the circumstances with Holly Sutton. Jason demanded to know why Sasha sold out to Sidwell when he confronted her at the Quartermaine estate. She called Anna Devane for assistance in breaking the Sidwell contract after returning to Maxie. Maxie hoped Anna could assist them find evidence or something to get out of their agreement, even though it was clear that Anna wasn't a lawyer. However, Anna made a prediction about how the Deception team would handle this and decided that they should just leave it go for the time being. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.